All right, so the Lions get some good news now on Terrion Arnold.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team.
All right, what's happening, everybody? We got a Tuesday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Matt Dery with you on a Tuesday, October 7th and a Wednesday, October 8th. Thanks for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. Our man, the legend, former Lion, coach, former Lion special teamer, and long snapper and tight end, Bradford Banta from the Lions Squad Show. You watch him, you see him all over the network now. He's going to join us momentarily, and we'll talk to Bradford about the first 5 weeks and the 4-1 Lions as they get set to take on the now 2-3 Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead for Sunday Night Football this coming week. If you watched the Chiefs game last night, you saw a defense that allowed the Jaguars to come right down the field at the end of that game, score to go ahead, and Kansas City kind of just ran out of time, could not get down the field in time, and the Chiefs are 2-3, which kind of worries me a little bit. Like, will the league want the Kansas City Chiefs on prime time to get to 500 this weekend? We'll see. But the Lions and Chiefs are coming up this Sunday. Plenty to discuss this week. We'll start with Bradford Banta coming up momentarily here on the program. Thanks for making us your first listen. Thanks for finding us wherever you get your podcasts. Again, please subscribe to our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Tomorrow, we'll do a call of the day. If you want to be our call of the day, please leave a voicemail at www.speakpipe.com/Dery podcast page. Leave it about a minute or so. Keep it clean. We'll play the best one on our call of the day tomorrow. Mostly calls of the day come from our everydayers. Shout out to you guys and girls that watch and listen to the podcast daily. All right. News of the day is this. According to reports, Terrion Arnold, who also tweeted out that God is good, Terrion Arnold got a second opinion on his injured shoulder. And it sounds like he could return this month. So Arnold's status yesterday, according to Dan Campbell, was he's going to be out a while, but not season ending. Now, the starting cornerback and former first-round pick, who hasn't played all that well, but again, potential improvement, work. I'm not giving up on Terrion Arnold, but he got good news today, a second opinion from a different doctor that his shoulder injury is not as severe as they originally thought. So it sounds like he could be back earlier than they thought, and maybe even this month. Of course, the Lions play Kansas City, then they play Tampa Bay for Monday Night Football next week, have a bye, and then are home for the Vikings on November the 2nd. With that being said, you're talking about Terrion Arnold at least out for a couple of games. You got DJ Reed out. You've got Khalil Dorsey now going to be out for a while. And the Lions are looking for help at cornerback. And many of you have hit me up on social media, at Dery Speaks on all platforms and everywhere else, asking about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Let me just say this for all of you out there. He's not coming back here. And I don't think the Lions want him, and I don't think he wants to be here. This is a guy that's got a lot of talent. We saw it last year. He played for the Super Bowl champion Eagles. He goes places and wears out his welcome wherever he goes. The Eagles did not want him back. He goes to the Texans. They cut him. The Houston Texans let him go a couple of games into the season. And if you recall, GJ, when he was here, was a headache at times. Good football player, but a headache at times. And then last February, as he's being interviewed on Radio Row at the Super Bowl, or at least not Radio Row, but he was a part of all the Super Bowl media stuff. Someone asked him, I think it was Dave Burkett from the Free Press, asked about his time in Detroit, and he said it was hell. And he said the Lions didn't offer him a contract to come back, and it was hell there. If you know anything about this organization and how they treat people and how they want to be treated and what they want in that locker room and how culture is so important, why would you bring back a guy who's all ticked off and says it was hell in Detroit? Was it? What players have left here under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and said they've had a bad experience or that it was hell? One, him. So people are like, oh, he's available. He can play corner. I'm not picking him up. I don't think he wants to be here, and I don't want the Lions to go anywhere near him. With that being said, there are 2 former Lions not named Chauncey Gardner-Johnson that are available. Emmanuel Mosley, yeah, I know, and Jerry Jacobs. Both of those guys are out of football right now. If you want someone that's the guys that are familiar with the system, you might go that route. Could the Lions pick up the phone and call James Bradberry? Remember, it was a few years ago, Bradberry really played well for the Eagles and Dolphins, and seemed like he was on a good path. He missed all of last season with injury, and an ACL, and I think it was either an ACL or an Achilles, and was just, I think the Eagles felt like they needed to move on from him, and they did. Kendall Fuller is available. Stephon Gilmore is available. Asante Samuel Jr., who's never lived up to the hype with the Chargers, also free agents. I think the most safe bet, and a guy that I think would be a culture, a culture getter, a guy that would be a culture fit would be Stephon Gilmore. His brother played here. His little brother, Steven. Stephon, I know he's 35, but the Lions have got to find somebody for the next few weeks to help round out that roster at cornerback. Rock Yassine's going to play a lot. We know Trey Flowers, Trey with no Y, Flowers is going to play. Avonte Maddox is going to play. Eric Hallett and Nick Whiteside are on the practice squad. They can both be elevated. But if you need a veteran guy out there, if I had to pick anybody, even though he is 35, I would say Stephon Gilmore. For those of you asking about, the Lions should just trade for Sauce Gardner. Bring the Detroit native home. Sauce Gardner makes close to $30 million. I don't know if the Lions are going to do that. Would that be an awesome pickup? Sure. Feasible from a money perspective? Probably not. So that's your update at cornerback. When we come back, Bradford Banta going to join us. We'll talk a little bit with the Lions squad co-host about the state of the team. We'll do that next. And Locked On Lions for this, a Tuesday, brought to you by PrizePicks. Every day we make decisions, but on PrizePicks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. Playing PrizePicks is such a fun, simple way to add more excitement to football. You just pick more or less on player stat projections, like Josh Allen's passing yards or Jahmyr Gibbs rushing for a touchdown, and you're in the game. Best part about PrizePicks, they just added stacks. So if you want to ride with a player, you can select their passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns all in one lineup. It's also fun to follow other players in the app and copy their lineups with just one click. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And we had a chance to talk to Bradford Banta yesterday, and here is that conversation. All right, here he is, big star of the network. We created a monster. I introduced him to this thing, and next thing you know, he's on the Squad show. He's making a big name for himself. He's everywhere. His son is like one of the top quarterbacks in the state. Bradford Banta, Lions Squad show, former Lion, is back with us here on the pod. What's up, buddy?
Matt, my hat's off to you, my friend.
So
I tell you what, man, it's been great. I'm having a blast right now.
Good. Well, you guys are doing a great job. You and Jake and Natalie are having a lot of fun. It's bonus content for Lions fans. And you're the voice of reason on there. Natalie starts talking about concerts, Jake's screaming about, and you're like, hold on a second. They're fun. You're like, everybody calm down. It's very difficult to play this sport and this game. But what do you think of the first 5 weeks so far?
The team has been ascending. They went through the first week, obviously, with playing Green Bay, and I said it on our show. It was the 10-man. That's all it was, because you can get your reps, and this makes me think further into the future. And I know Dan is going to start thinking about this, and I'm sure he already has. Getting the starters, just a series or two in the preseason, just to get those guys amped up and ready to go for the opener. And it showed that they were rusty. And granted, you had everybody made a big deal, myself included, is with a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. But both sides have seemed to gel with the coordinators, and they're playing good football right now. Now it's just going to be a matter of managing the roster and keeping these guys healthy.
Well, I mean, I said it on yesterday's show. I mean, last year, what we went through, and you joined me plenty of times last year, it's like, how many more defensive players can you lose? And for the most part, the corners were healthy. Davis played most of the year. Arnold played all the year. Amik played all the year. Now, 4 of your top 5 corners are gone. How does this work? Brad, you've been through it?
Yeah. What happens when an injury does happen is these GMs and their scouting staff are making calls to agents and lining up workouts and bringing guys in. So they probably they have guys en route today and they're going to work out tomorrow, or they were working out today. And they're working on trades, or they're working on players that are on the street right now. And because, NFL players aren't, they don't grow on trees.
Yeah.
So these guys are part of the, let's just say 2,000 players that play in the NFL. And you compare that to the total population of, let's just say the United States, then you're looking at a very small percentage of people that can actually play this game.
It is amazing, too, how the league works in terms of the rules. So if you got a really solid young guy on your practice squad that maybe just couldn't make it at corner, Lions could pluck him away to put him on the active roster unless that team is ready to upgrade him and put him on the active roster. So there's probably some guys on practice squads that teams have just been trying to hide. And then, like you said, a trade. I know it's kind of early to be making trades, but you never know if Miami and Cleveland want to just pack it in, and some of these bad teams have some veteran corners. Brad Holmes has got to be on the phone.
He's on the phone, and this is where the agent comes into play for the player.
Yeah.
So they obviously want to put their player in the best possible situation for longevity, not only for the player, but it's a good business decision for the agent himself, because he makes he draws interest, but he draws a percentage of their salary. And that's where you walk that fine line is, hey, do you want to go here and play for, possibly, let's say 4 or 5 weeks and possibly make an impact? Or do you want to stay on your current team for the long haul, knowing that you're in a good situation and they want to develop you? It's like I said, it's that fine line that you walk. And I'm always like, hey, let's go pull the winning lottery ticket right now. Let's go get paid. And you have a chance to show your wares to the other 30 teams, because they would be signing you from another team practice squad onto the line. So it gives you a chance to be exposed to the other 30 teams as well.
Bradford Banta with us, Lions Squad Show co-host, and of course the former Lions special teamer when he was a long snapper, backup tight end, was assistant coach with the team as well. Tell me about what you see on this defensive side right now. Yesterday I talked about the PFF grades, and Aiden Hutchinson is balling right now. And we could talk about corners all day, but if teams can't block him, it doesn't matter who's at corner. The ball's not going to get out there, is it?
No, I made this statement yesterday, and it's on both. It was on Cincinnati and Detroit. Why design a scheme where you have a tight end that's going to be pass blocking on an edge rusher solo? They did it.
Yeah.
Both sides did it.
Both teams did it. Yeah, Brock.
Both teams did it. Yeah. I was like, I brought up a point. I've gone through it personally, and I talked about it last night on the show. I was playing with the Indianapolis Colts, and they had me blocking Reggie White one-on-one. Come on now. We had a couple comments that I don't know if I can repeat on this show, but from our viewers. And I was like, I walked over to the sidelines after a couple plays, and I'm like, fellas, we talk about mid-game adjustments, and they don't happen. Well, guess what? That game, whenever we were playing the Packers at the time, that was a mid-game adjustment because I raised my hand and I said, I need help.
Yeah.
I need help. So, Aiden's playing well. I think the second and third level open field tackling is fantastic at this moment. Now, I wrote that comment down during the game yesterday in the third quarter. The fourth quarter, not so much.
Yeah,
but
a little sloppy.
The overall body of work, the open field tackling, I think has been fantastic. And the production that we're getting out of the linebackers, knock on wood, that, all of them stay healthy and everything, has helped. I believe it's helped the secondary and to cover up, some of the play in the secondary, i.e., Terrion Arnold.
Yeah. It's interesting about Terrion. He hasn't played well. Let's be honest. He just hasn't. I mean, Dan Campbell said it on Monday. He got better as the game wore on. PFF grades haven't been nice to him. It's been about a year plus. Yet, to lose him now long-term, as Campbell said on Monday, for a while, you're going to put Trey Flowers out there who just was on the street a week ago. Like, you still, yes, fans complain about Terrion Arnold, but that's a first-round pick that you're trying to develop and get better. Now to be out a while still hurts. I don't care what anybody says.
No, it hurts. It does hurt. We can give him as hard a time as we want, but the kid is gifted athletically. I just happen to think of this. Why not play without gloves? Because he seems to be using his hands a lot, and with the way those gloves are now, sticky. Hey, try playing without gloves. We can go without you not catching the ball. As long as you get PBUs, that's fine. So just don't grab guys, because he is, oh gosh, what are they, 5-1, 4-1? 4-1. So I believe he's 5 for 5. He has won every game. And if I was an offensive coordinator on the opposing team, I would tell my quarterback, your first read is going to be whoever number 6 is guarding.
Right.
Throw
it up there, or even throw a back shoulder and see if there's going to be, like you said, a holding call. And sometimes offensive coordinator calls that number, tells the quarterback to look for it.
Yeah, no, and that's that. And they tried that a few times yesterday, but unfortunately Browning threw such a bad ball that it was an ezy pick for us. I would say, with the 3 interceptions, I would say that Anzalone probably had the most athletic one out of the 3.
Yeah.
And because the one that Kirby had, it was either or who was going to catch the ball. It was going to be a Detroit Lion. And then Amit came back with that grab he had on the sidelines, which I thought was a fantastic play. And then Alex with the diving catch was very formidable.
Yeah, there was somebody in Cincinnati the other day that saw Jake Browning at the dry cleaners. He was handing the lady his credit card, and that got intercepted. It's been that. Sorry, I've been waiting to use that one.
I'm glad I was here to witness it.
It's bad. It's been a bad month for Jake Browning. But all right, coming up next, I want to ask Bradford about John Morton and the job that he has done as well on this Tuesday edition of Locked On Lions. And we're brought to you today by our friends at Mazda. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. They deliver confidence with every ride. With more IIHS top safety pick awards than anyone else, from footwork to breath work, athletes sweat all the details. We know this, but Mazda brings the same intention to how they craft every model. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but, from smooth handling to intuitive controls. Like our players, we sweat every detail, because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. Our buddy Bradford Banta with us, Lions analyst on the Lions Squad shows. You can watch or listen to those right here on the Locked On Lions channel and on the right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your son, by the way, is killing it at Country Day at Detroit Catholic Central. Big win, a Sunday game against Brother Rice. What are they throwing? The double reverse lateral pass back to your son, who's standing on the sideline, basically. And then
on the Brother Rice sideline. Yes.
Correct. I saw the highlight. He's playing great. Brad, you got to be excited.
No, we're very excited about the way that the team is playing, and also Duke as well. They're performing at a high level, and they still haven't put together a complete game. I want that to happen so badly, just complete domination every quarter, every play. It was about as close as of a complete game that they played yesterday to date. So I'm excited to see. I think the team's ascending, and we're looking forward to this next week. So just like the Lions, and just like every other team, you got to go 1-0 every week.
Yeah. Are you like in the stands on the sidelines pacing? I know you now. This is
yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it. I am in the stands.
Okay.
But we go out. I end up sitting with Sam Gash. So our families kind of sit together.
Yeah.
And Sam and I sit side by side, and we sit there and we talk ball, because we both see the game through the same lens. And that's the coaching former player lens. And we see what's going on. And it's just fun to have open and honest conversation with someone that understands what you're talking about. And just the way we watch the game is very similar. And that's the way we just kind of insulate ourselves from the surroundings.
It's very cool. A couple of former NFL players or kids on the same team. It's really neat. All right, John Morton, you and I talked all summer about what's going to happen. What's the offense going to look like? They're rolling. What are you seeing right now that maybe is different than Ben Johnson, or is he just kind of picking up where Ben left off?
I think look, he puts his own spin on it. What they're doing is they're getting Goff involved early, just with rhythm passes. And when they're short, their completions, he gets a good feeling. He gets comfortable in the pocket by getting the ball out quick. But they're also instituting the run. And they had some hiccups versus Green Bay, but ever since then, they've shored up the communication, it seems, just from the outside looking in, with the interior three, and they have been dominant. Now, with Decker being down, they're going to have to give a little bit of help to whoever that left tackle is going to be right now. It is, but it just from what I've seen from Johnny is, let's establish the run. Let's run some play action. And then once they start biting up on the play action, they get a feel for that. Then let's hit them over the top. So it's kind of the same, but just a little bit different flavor.
Already heard Colin Cowherd from Fox and a few other of the ESPN guys the other day were talking about, all right, early MVP candidates. They're talking about Baker Mayfield. They're talking about Daniel Jones. They're talking about, and Jared Goff again doesn't get mentioned. And all this offense is doing is scoring the most points of any team in the league. It's unbelievable. But do you think Jared likes this? I think he just likes, fine, don't mention me again. I'm good with it.
I don't know Jared personally. I've never talked with him. But he reminds me of a person who would just say as long as we just win.
Yeah.
That's it. I just feel that personality type coming from him. And that's all he wants to do. He wants what's best for the team. He is one of the leaders of the team. He is, at least on the outside, from what we see, he's not very vocal. On the inside, I would imagine he leads by example, but I would imagine he is also a vocal leader as well in calling a spade a spade.
Final thing, Sunday night, Kansas City, Monday night, Tampa Bay. So back-to-back games. You've been in locker rooms. You've dealt with crazy schedules with some of the teams that you've played on. How does this affect the team, or is this a good thing or bad thing?
With the success that the core of the team has had over the past, 3-4 years? So
yeah,
the schedule has changed for these guys, and they know how to adjust. Now it's up for the younger players who have not gone through this to learn from the older players, ask questions to them. Hey, how do you prepare? How do we have an extra day, or we don't have an extra day? How do we prepare for this? Or just sit back and observe the older players, and they can learn a boatload from that. I had the good fortune whenever I was in DC, just because of the TV viewing audience of the Redskins at that time, and then the success we had at the New Orleans Saints. We would have a Monday night game, a Sunday night game, then a Thursday, then another Thursday. Then we would play. The schedule was all over the place. We did a good job of managing the roster, and that's what. And Dan was on that staff as well.
Yeah.
So he's been through it, and the thing that I like what Dan does is that he's open and honest with the players. Why? Because he's been there, done that.
Sure.
And they respect that. And he's going to put them through the ringer. And when he does, he's going to tell them, I'm going to put you through the ringer. When he backs them down, he's going to tell them, I'm going to back you down. But he always has a reason why. And that's what the players have bought into. And that is why they are achieving the success that they have now. And now it's ever so important that we start managing this roster to keep the players healthy from week to week.
Bradford Banta, now Locked On legend. See him on our show, see him on the Live Squad show.
I'm just following your lead, Matt. That's all I'm doing.
Just built a monster here. And look, you got Fox analysts getting stabbed and getting into fights on the street. Brad, get your
Who is a Trojan, by the way? Yes.
Get your cell phone number out there. But we're going to see Bradford Banta on TV soon. I just know it. He does such a great job. And not that we haven't seen you on Fox too, but you know what I mean. I think you're good at this. So thanks, brother. Great to see you. We'll get you back soon.
All right. Appreciate it, Matt.
Bradford Banta with us. Check him out on the Lion Squad show with Jake and Natalie. This is a Tuesday, Locked On Lions.